You've probably seen someone on social media saying that people of value don't show emotion, that they're cold, calculated, like Thomas Shelby from Peaky Blinders. What they don't tell you is that suppressing your emotions can and will turn your life into a complete mess. Because emotions don't disappear when you ignore them. They pile up. They turn into anxiety, impulsive behavior, bad decisions, and shallow relationships. Real self-control doesn't come from coldness, it comes from awareness. It's not about not feeling. It's about knowing exactly what you feel and using it to your advantage. Thomas Shelby isn't strong because he doesn't feel. He's strong despite what he feels. And almost everything that destroys him throughout the story comes from the emotions he never learned to face. Being a person of value doesn't mean becoming insensitive. It means having enough emotional maturity to feel, understand, and act without being ruled by it. That's where real strength lives. And this is exactly where most people get lost. They confuse silence with strength, coldness with maturity, control with repression. But every repressed emotion comes at a cost. It shows up when you explode at someone who doesn't deserve it. When you sabotage yourself at the decisive moment. When you feel an emptiness you can't explain even while doing everything right. Emotionally strong men and women aren't the ones who feel nothing. They're the ones who can sit with discomfort, understand what it's saying, and still choose the right response. Feeling anger doesn't make you weak. Ignoring it makes you dangerous to yourself. Feeling fear doesn't make you smaller. Denying it is what paralyzes you. Feeling sadness isn't a sign of defeat. Running from it is what keeps you from growing. True emotional discipline isn't about erasing feelings. It's about turning them into information. Because when you learn to read your emotions, you stop reacting and start acting with intention. And acting with intention changes everything. It changes how you communicate, how you set boundaries, and how you choose your battles. You stop living on autopilot. You stop trying to prove something to others. And you start living in alignment with who you really are. People who seem cold often aren't strong. They're just disconnected. And emotional disconnection doesn't earn respect. It creates isolation. The truth is simple, but uncomfortable. The more you run from what you feel, the more enslaved by it you become. Emotional strength is looking inward and not turning away. It's acknowledging your flaws without destroying yourself over them. It's feeling deeply and still staying in control of your choices. In the end, it's not about being tough. It's about being whole. Because those who know how to deal with their own emotions don't need to fake coldness. They project presence. And presence can't be forced, it's built. It appears when you no longer need to hide behind a mask. When you walk into a room not trying to look invincible, but fully comfortable with who you are. No excess, no unnecessary defenses. That's why emotionally mature people speak less and say more. They don't react to every provocation. They don't need to win every argument. They know that mastering themselves is the only power that truly matters. While many train their bodies, chase status, or imitate TV characters, few have the courage to do the inner work, and that work is silent. It doesn't generate instant applause, but it builds something rare. Stability. Stability to make hard decisions, to honor commitments, to stay grounded when life applies pressure. At the end of the day, it's not the absence of emotion that makes you strong. It's the ability not to be controlled by it. So before trying to become cold, learn to become conscious. Before repressing what you feel, learn to understand it. Because those who master their emotions don't need to prove strength. It's felt. Life doesn't demand that you be made of stone. It demands that you be clear-minded. And when you replace repression with clarity, internal chaos organizes itself, choices become simpler, and respect stops being chased and starts being a consequence. In the end, people of value aren't the ones who feel nothing. They're the ones who feel, understand, and still choose the best path.